Each the deal party people. Like to welcome to HIPHOPRaisedmetheblog.com, where we celebrate 52 years of the youngest genre of music. We talking about hip hop, y'all. It's about the knowledge, the culture, and the lifestyle. My name is C.E.o. Dream,
It's your boy Jay Hustle.
and you tuning in to Meanwhile with Hip Hop Raised Me.
On the East Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. In the West Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. When we down south, they screaming hip hop raised me. Even in the Midwest, screaming hip hop raised me. On the East Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. In the West Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. When we down south, they screaming hip hop raised me. Even in the Midwest, they screaming hip hop raised me. I'd like to welcome to HIPHOPRaisedmetheblog.com. We celebrate the youngest genre in music. We talking about hip hop, y'all. It's about the knowledge, the culture, and the lifestyle. Hip-hop raised me.
The
Yeah.
party people, CEO Dream, back at Meanwhile with Hip Hop Raised Me. Got a special guest in the building. Shout out to my dog. Peace to the God Eternal.
Peace. Peace. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling like a villain, man. Well, today's topic on Meanwhile with Hip Hop Raised Me, Ebro in the morning getting the axe. Ebro in
Hmm.
the morning show is cut. Is after 13 years of being on Hot 97. So, what's your take on that?
I listened, brother, today speak on it. This brother named Zipper the Drip, and he had a valid point. And the most valid point that he pointed out was this is a brother who's not from New York, so he's not going to understand New York politics in the same way. And I can't say fully that nobody would be able to catch on because most of us are from elsewhere and we all adapted to where we from
Uh-huh.
and to where we at. Now, I could also say, like Rakim said, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. And that was more of a mind state, I believe, than anything, what he was stating. Because if people didn't recognize, he said, writing rhymes while I cool in my mansion. Talking about mansion physically, what people see, but his mansion being his mind with many rooms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why he was able to articulate so greatly. One thing with the brothers at the Drip said, and I like his viewpoint with this one. He said, yo, this brother came on, he said, Ebro came on the thing on Hot 97, and all of a sudden you started hearing stuff about lean, drug music, and all that stuff at a higher extent than before. And this has
Oh,
been for the past amount of time.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with Zip. Shout out to Zip with the drip. You feel me?
Word up.
But I remember when Ebro came, Ebro was the program director at Hot 97. Ebro used to tell local artists, they stopped playing local music in New York at the time. You remember that, E?
Yes, I do.
All
And how
right.
you gonna stop playing New York artists in New York? This is the place for them to break.
Exactly. This is the birthplace of hip hop. He started playing music from other areas. Cause Boy is from Oakland, California. Boy has this same energy that a lot of them guys had back in the days during the Tupac times and that East Coast and West Coast shit. A lot of ignorant brothers was running around pushing that narrative, and he came over here. I believe he had an agenda. They started telling people that New York niggas aren't making good music. And then all of a sudden, you know, all the rappers from New York started changing their flow up because the music started going to down south and shit like that. And no matter what lane they was going, it wasn't clicking at the time. You feel me? So Ebro, in my opinion, fucked up, hip hop in New York along, even with the fall of Hot 97 and the rise of Power 105. You feel me? So
Yeah, but you got to remember something too. With that fall, it became a thing because everything you got to remember before that, it was a thing where they was speaking about how they was getting paid programming. They were speaking about
yeah,
like if the artist didn't do certain things. Look at how Wu Tang got blackballed by Hot 97.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? A
yeah.
whole lot of other artists got blackballed by Hot 97 in their own city. Now, what if people would have came up to Hot 97 and did something to Hot 97? What's the name? They program directors, they different DJs and all this stuff. These are normal people too who got attitudes and feel a particular way, and things is going a certain way. And then you got this guy coming from someplace else, which is no problem. You could be from someplace else and be a great person as far as what you do,
Yeah,
business wise.
I
It's
agree.
nothing stating that he couldn't do that. But when it become a thing where it's like, well, this and that, and you make an opinion about this and that, and everything became like the breakdown of things, they knew this. Put like this, that show knew exactly 13 years ago they hired him. 10 years ago they knew they should have got rid of him.
Well, he been on there longer than that. That was just that particular show. You feel me? But he been pushing the narrative for a long time. That's been kind of crazy. Even though he's been kind of, he still does his thing, but not so many people really, pay him any attention. Even though he still has the following he has, but like as far as New York radio is concerned, nobody really pays attention what Ebro was saying. You feel me? Charlemagne got that little lane right there as far as that morning. Charlemagne and Envy
And the young lady, yeah,
and a young lady, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even know her name to be honest with you, but
yeah, I forgot her name,
you
but
feel
I
me? I
like how
forgot
she
her
be
name.
talking though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot her name. She kind of newer. But I know Jess Hilarious sometimes be on there, but
Yeah, she be
yeah,
on there also.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But my thing is this with Ebro always had this air about him, son. Like, you feel me? An arrogant air, and he's not a little dude. He's not a pushover. And he always was confrontational. You know what I'm saying, when it come down to a lot of situations, and I just think, like, him not being from here and not understanding the culture, they fucked up New York radio. You feel me?
he got it. Yeah, it was to the point where it's like you trying to take something from someplace else and make it someplace else be like someplace else, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, he may have lived other places, may have went to school other places, or did
I mean,
business other
obviously he
places.
has. He's from Oakland.
Yeah,
When you come to New York, you got a particular, you know, credentials. So obviously you had to go to school to do that. Not too many people went through the carrying records until they was able to get a land a spot on the radio like back in the days. But they trusted him with being a program director. And they played the
yeah,
same songs over and over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, some artists did get a little bit of light if he allowed them to, but it wasn't as much as it should have been because of, he did receive a lot of backlash over the years where he felt like he wasn't the cause of the fall of hip hop. That discussion been going on for a while. Even Zip with the Drips said that Ebro was the reason why the fall of hip hop in New York. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. It started becoming more drug like,
yeah, it became definitely
personal use.
it definitely became some an agenda of playing you know other people's music outside of New York as opposed to playing the locals. Because you go to their areas, you don't hear not a soul of New York nigga music playing it unless it's just happen to be one of the best songs in rotation at the time. But you're not gonna hear that. You're gonna hear all they local artists and shit like that. No matter where you go outside of New York. But why is it that you come here and you don't hear that? You just hear uh what's popping on the Billboard, charts and shit like that. You feel me? So it's definitely, I think the New York City DJs over the years, I think they became as big as the rappers that they, music that they played, and they think they the stars as well. So they've been stunting people growth. They've been gatekeeping. They've been doing the payola. They be doing all type of weird shit, over the years. You dig? So you know, it's where do we go from here? Who's going to take these guys' place to actually push a better narrative? You feel me?
Mhm.
Yeah. I see. My son AJ over there. He doing his thing. AJ, even from ATV. He over there. He's pushing a new narrative. Where he's
Uh-huh.
showing love to the younger artists or artists. Period. He's trying to bring a new regime to the Hot 97. So in Hot 97 definitely need some new blood in there. I definitely seen the guy, the dude Punch. The dude Punch. He always going at Funk Master Flex. He feel like
Yeah.
Hot Night the DJs need a new blood. He feel like Flex need to give up his slot. What you think about that though?
I don't know about Funk Flex giving up his spot like that because a brother could say whatever they like. A brother may not like Flex, but Flex did a whole lot for hip hop. I
Uh-huh.
remember Flex when I was a young brother, and it was my old counselor, Flex, and um Chuck Chillout, and used to be with these brothers. Their brother's name was D. They was my counselors. D, and it was Cool Chip, and Cool Chip was one of the rappers' names. And I seen Chuck Chillout was a DJ, and Funk Master Flex was backing up Chuck Chillout from back in the days. So
Yeah.
Chuck Chillout was before Red Alert. I mean, it was around the time of Red Alert, I should say,
Yeah,
a
Chuck
little
Chill Out. It's a
after.
legendary DJ. We had did a DJ salute where we salute all the DJs, and we did a little piece on DJ Chuck Chill Out. You know what I'm saying? So I remember him and Chuck Chill Out on him and on Cool Chip. Those were my guys, man. The rebels of the slave. You know what I'm saying? So trust
Exactly.
me.
You know what I mean? Them dudes was nice. And that was like I said, I knew them brothers when I was younger.
Yeah,
And camp. You know what I mean? They was our counselors in camp. That was the crazy thing. Him and the dude named D. They was off the hook. They used to have us bugging out in there. We was wilding in there.
yeah,
But you know what I mean? I see Funk Master Flex from back then when I was a young person, and it was like, yo, you seen Chuck Chill Out come up, you seen Funk Flex come up after him. They say Funk Flex used to carry his crates.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just
That's
imagine
a
the work
fact. He
that
definitely did, though. You heard?
exactly. So now think about it. If this man done worked all that time, done bust his ass all that time, done brought forth some of the, yo, people can't front on Flex.
Yeah,
When you went to a Flex party from back in the days, Flex, Mr. C, Biz Markie, certain people, when they parties was on, it was on. It wasn't no bullshit party or nothing like that. It wasn't no like it was some garbage party. Nah, man, you heard the music in a proper sequence done by a DJ who knew what he was doing. Funk Master Flex is a certified DJ, but I think he just be bugging out and not letting the music play enough.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think, and he
yeah.
also uses his platform to
I
disrespect
think I
certain
think he
artists.
built that suspense thing, and he made that shit. He made it work for him. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
it served his purpose at the time, but yeah, but sometimes he kind of overdoes it. You be like, come on, there was a meme going around where they say you not from New York if you never screamed at the radio. Like, come on, Flex, play the fucking song.
Everybody, everybody I know, little kids like back, man. This kid, this dude, everybody like that with Flex, but
Yeah.
everybody loved the way he spin.
Hmm.
Everybody loved the stuff that he put on. As
Yeah.
time went along, I think it got to the point where it's like I didn't like it as much anymore, so I don't listen to it as much anymore. I
Uh-huh.
listen more to the features that he had on the show, and even times where I think Flex kind of wilded out, like for real, just having Benny and Conway come up there on the show and seeing West Side Gun right there not rapping. Is he crazy? That's the shower shoe lord, man. That motherfucker is nice.
So I don't know what's going on, what type of stuff is going on where it's like, well, I'm gonna fuck with these guys part of this camp, but I'm not gonna fuck with these guys as part of this camp. Did they forget? Them dudes wouldn't be where they are, probably,
Without
most
West Side
likely
Gun.
without West Side Gun.
Yeah,
You
West
know what I
Side
mean?
Gun,
He's
West
the
Side Gun,
leader of that
West Side
movement.
Gun. He started that shit off.
He's the spearhead of that movement, man.
Yes, he did.
Nobody could ever deny it, man. That man went out there for one reason and came out there and got blessed in a whole different way with that man saying to him, like, yo, Shady telling him straight up, yo, I just want to hear y'all music, basically.
Yeah,
Go ahead and put the shit out. Go ahead, put your boys out. So I just want to hear y'all music. You
yeah.
see, when have you ever seen Jay-Z popping up at people's shows repetitiously? That's to show you the quality of these dudes' lyrics. So it ain't like one is less than the other. It's just that you appreciate one more than the other. And truthfully, I really do appreciate Conway and Benny better as far as their music. But when you listen to certain of his songs, you like, yo, nah, nigga, you can't forget this dude at all. Listen to all of them Parises and all of that German Hitler shit and all that WWE shit.
Nah, yo, yo.
This motherfucker is
You know what
nice.
I
I
like? You know what I
recognize
like
him
about
even
West
more
Side Gun?
after.
One thing I like about West Side Gun, I love his creativity with his art. I love the way the way he create themes for what he does, just like the rest of them does. You know, he's not as nice as Conway. He's not as nice as Benny the Butcher, but he has a certain style that you learn to appreciate. When you hear the boom, 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 all that
Man,
shit.
he is the excitement of that
Yeah,
crew.
he
He is the
that takes
excitement
a
of
lot
that
of
crew.
skill to do shit like that. You feel me? It takes a lot of skill.
And to be the
However,
first and to
my
be the
nigga, the
businessman.
nigga I like out of all of them, I like 38 Special right now, son.
Especially straight hardcore. I didn't even put him in the equation because he's trusting, but you can't forget him when it comes to them. And them right there,
Nah,
man, that boy
look,
is
Shay
special. He's
Noir is
special.
another one. Fire.
Yeah, Shay Noir, I tried to tell my man said she was giving it up for 1,000 for a track. Yo, I told him, grab that shit immediately. Do not play. I said, yo, that woman is so fucking fabulous on the mic. She's great at
Yeah,
producing and
Armani Caesar.
everything.
All of them.
Man,
What
her,
they
Amani
fire,
Caesar,
son.
Seven the Genius. Yo, it's a bunch of them. What's the next one name? Yo, man, them girls is nice, man. They got a fire squad, yo. They
Yes,
got a
they
straight
do. Yes, they
fire
do,
squad.
son. Yes,
And
they
they
do.
put on for their city.
Yes, they do, son. So
They put on for their city.
I did get a chance to view some I don't know what you call it, documentary or just a series of it's called Bars. It's called Buffalo, Albany, Rochester, and Syracuse. And I
Yo,
guess they showcasing all the upstate New York, people that's doing something with themselves that's making noise. You feel me? And I think that's kind
yo,
of dope. You know what I'm saying? Because people always try to separate.
your
You
phone is
know,
on mute.
nah, this shit good. You heard? Yeah.
Dream, your phone is on mute.
Nah, no, it ain't, bro. I'm talking to you right now. I hear you. You must be on mute.
Your phone was on mute.
You hear me though, right?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Nah, I wasn't on mute. I was talking. But
I didn't hear nothing you were saying.
oh, okay. I got my shit on do not disturb, so nothing is gonna interrupt my shit. You feel me? So
Oh, that's how you do that? Okay, okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna do
yeah,
that right now.
yeah.
Word.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like I do appreciate seeing that a lot of MCs upstate is doing their thing. People separate New York and separate the city. They always made that a thing. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm from the city. However, I did spend some time, in different places up there and shit.
This
So I
call
I
is
know what
being
it's like.
recorded.
You
Yeah.
know. So I definitely know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is right there. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey, Them niggas is
Let me
nice
tell
up
you.
there.
Yeah, them brothers,
Them
them
niggas,
brothers
they keeping hip hop alive at this point.
at this point, yeah, definitely.
At this point,
Definitely.
they've been keeping the traditional boom bap, that East Coast drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? That East Coast hustler vibe, you know what I'm saying? Live, living without no regards. We doing what we doing what we want. You feel me? That whole aura, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they keeping that alive, and I appreciate their music. You dig?
Yeah, I appreciate their music definitely. Right now, them brothers they got my man, P Gutter.
You gotta,
He from out of Albany, yeah. He
yeah.
from out of Albany, yeah. He what's the name? He part of UMG, Virgin UMG. And he what's the name? This is my boy right here. He invited me to come along with him a couple of Benny shows that he was performing at
Uh huh.
and a couple of Conway shows that he was performing at. I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to go with him because of other circumstances. But you know what I mean? That brother right now, he got a new single that just came out the other day with him, Benny, Conway. I mean him, Benny, what's these other two brothers named Ransom and Euro, and
Okay.
it's got the brother named Luciano Lane on it. You know what I mean? He's speaking and he's talking about, this is basically how he coming with his artists and everything,
Uh huh.
which is my boy P Gutter,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, and Euro, which is a Cash Money brother from back in the days, and everybody know Arsenal from battle rap, and they know Arsenal the crazy
Okay.
ball.
I just did a piece of the 100 grittiest songs that created that cinematic feel. So a lot of them brothers that you mentioned is in those. You feel me? Like something like Wrong Streets, West Side Gun. You
Yeah,
got
Lil
Graph in
Keith
there,
is
you got
crazy.
Prodigy in there, you got Alchemist in that shit, like that whole cinematic thing. You feel me?
Hmm.
Vegas Seven and Ronin and all them guys. You know what I'm saying? So like them niggas be bringing themes to this shit. They give you, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everything ain't about mainstream where you talking about,
Like that purple tape and all of the theme to it.
yeah, give it
Classic
theme,
theme.
that classic shit. You feel me? So yeah, so Rock Marciano, dudes like that. You know what I'm
That
saying?
brother is
Mussolini.
crazy with it. Rock
Yeah,
Marciano is just dope.
that nigga's
Dope.
crazy, right?
Him,
Stove Guard Cooks.
yeah,
Them boys is talking.
they talking that business.
Mm-hmm.
Talking that business. My boy talking his business too. Everybody check out P Gutter, man. He got a new shit. Keep the change out right now. It just got released 4 days ago. It's
Yeah.
on what's the name? Version Universal Music Group.
Okay. We're gonna check that out, man. Shout out to P Gutter. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Everybody check that out. Keep the change.
All
That's the
right,
name of
keep
it.
the
Keep the
change.
change. Keep the change. It's P Gutter, Benny the Butcher, Euro, Arsenal, and Luciano Lane speaking on it. Letting them
Mm.
know.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So look, man, Ebro got the axe. You know what I'm saying?
He
Let's see.
gonna come up
Let's
in
see.
another market. He
Let's
gonna
see.
come up in another market.
Yeah, he got other ventures going on. You know what I'm saying? I think he still got something going on with Apple Music and all that.
I just think, as time goes along, sometimes things gotta change, and maybe he wasn't able to change his staff also. Maybe it was executive decisions that was placing him in the position he was in also. Because as you can see, if you really do the research on Ebro, he does have a whole lot of to do with speaking about Hot 97 not doing the proper things as far as hip hop is concerned also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of things up there. And he aired certain things out right before he was fired also.
Yeah,
So
I seen him go live. I didn't kind of catch it all, but
yeah,
it looked like he just, you know, he looked disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? He looked disgruntled, and I didn't get a chance to check it. And I'm gonna check it because I don't want to say too much about it because I didn't check the whole thing out. So, but I definitely seen that he made a rant or whatever, and I'm gonna go
yeah,
check that out so I can say what I need to say about it then. But yeah, bro, that shit's crazy, you know?
yeah. But you know how it goes. He don't end up there. He not there anymore. He gonna move on to someplace else, and I wish him the best always. Him and everybody else in life, because
Yeah.
they ain't trying to see nobody down, and it's
Hmm.
obvious that they they probably limited him to a degree. He probably was limited as far as what he wanted to do,
Yeah.
because the overall thing is what's the station want, what they want for the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have as much creativity, like say so as much in your creativity in the way you're able to bring across a show and play certain songs and all of that
Yeah.
based off of also who's paying the money too. Follow the money trail to tell you who's paying the most money to get their artist played. They're not gonna play everybody's stuff when money is in the way.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree on that. You feel me? So, look, man, it's about time Hot 97 start changing their shit up. They already changed up their lineups. People made it, people assumed that Funkmaster Flex was being taken off the air. They just moved this time slot. You feel me? So, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you know, hip hop as a whole is changing.
Do
You
people
know,
even listen to the radio anymore, bro?
I think they listen more to satellite radio if they even do that much. You know what I'm saying? But I think you know, the biggest platforms at this point right now would be the digital streaming platforms, and they the ones who are the one robbing all the. They robbing everybody, bro. You feel me? They robbing
They just
everybody,
came out
man.
with some crazy, crazy thing. I forgot what the price is per stream. Or
Basically getting you're not even barely getting a penny for a stream. You're not even getting a penny for a stream. You're getting like 3%. Not even 3%. It's crazy. It's got the crazy numbers. And the government stepped in and just they still didn't make it, worth the while to understand all this hard work we have to do. Like, think about this. An artist has to pay for studio time. All right. Depending on the engineer you got, more than likely you're gonna go to a nigga that don't know what he doing. So you still gotta take your music, you gotta get it mixed properly. All right. So that's gonna cost you a pretty penny. Then you gotta get it mastered. That's gonna cost you a pretty penny. Then you gotta pay for promotion. So somehow you gotta get it on the radio. The radio will help you with the BDS spins and shit like that. However, you still gotta pay for promotion for it to go everywhere. You gotta go appear to different places. You gotta do interviews. You gotta do meet and greets. You gotta perform the song. You gotta get it circulating. And they say the average artist need at least 200 grand to do that. You know what I'm saying? But independently, what an artist can do at this point, they can build a fan base and sell it from their own persons. You feel me? Like, what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Shooter. You know what I'm saying? Shooter, what he did, he been freestyling on the internet for years. He built a fan base with his freestyles.
okay,
Now, so what he started doing was he started saying no streams amongst us. So now they people getting it directly from the source. So he not putting on no DSPs and all that. So
okay,
you want his work, you want to hit him up, send him a cash app, he gonna send it to you.
okay.
And those who appreciate good music, good lyricism. They're gonna pay for it, and that's how he does what he does. You know what I'm saying? So, he was one of the first people to do it independently in the manner that he does it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's claiming to do be independent, but the homie has really showed that he's independent. You know what I'm saying? He needs more light to him because he doing great already, but he definitely need more light because he's nastier than all these people and he deserve it way more than a lot of the other people. You feel me? I know the homie for years. You feel me? He was actually up north with me. You feel me?
Okay.
We knew him by Punch. You feel me?
Okay.
We knew him by Punch. But he called himself Shooter 9-3 now. You know what I'm saying? And he doing his thing. He's one of the dopest lyricists from the town. He's from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to my nigga Shooter. But yeah, it's no streams amongst us. That's how he did it. And I think that's a great idea for a lot of artists to actually build your own fan base. Once you build your fan base, your core fan base,
Yeah.
where they deal directly with you, you have a chance to actually make some money. You know what I mean? And then you can present yourself in other areas to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's terrible how they treating the artists these days. But people really don't really listen to music right now anyway. It's
Yeah.
not. Nobody's buying music. They listening, but it's like the quality of hip hop is depleting at this point. You got some dropping shit like Mass Appeal doing their numbers right now. They
Shout
bringing
out
back
to
the nostalgia feel of hip hop. Bringing back the
he
golden era.
bringing it back for real. He bringing it back for real. They
Yeah, he's
got it.
bringing the golden era. And there's a lane for that because at the end of the day, I was telling my man this earlier. I'm like, we the babies of hip hop. We was born and raised in this shit. So, this always we always gonna be young because of certain songs or certain artists that's around. We always gonna be young. You feel me? Yeah, we older, we got more responsibilities and shit like that. So, you know, Nas with the light years, that he did an amazing job.
Crazy.
Him,
Crazy.
him and Primo, like I
Past
told my
like eight,
homie, I
eight,
ain't like
9
I ain't like
albums.
all the beats, but I definitely liked a lot of them though. And
Majority
Nas's
of them, but
lyricism was crazy, like
as usual.
it's crazy. That writers was that was crazy. The pause tapes was crazy. Bouquet, oh man, that is bananas. My story, your story, him and AZ, they need to stop playing and drop an album, a collaborative album, because they got like 20 songs together already. They need to drop another 10 more together, back to back, and do what they supposed to have been doing all these years. You feel me? Instead of
Yeah.
teasing us, Yeah, man. So look, man.
Since the 90s.
Since the 90s, man. Since the 90s. So look, tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Find me at Eternal Cologne on Instagram. Find me on Thinking Cap, Eternal Math 777 on YouTube. Find me on what's the name, J Cologne on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. That part, man. Definitely want to thank you for, chopping it up with me. Meanwhile, with Hip Hop Raised Me, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, no brother, for sure. It's
That part.
definitely my pleasure. This is my pleasure.
that part. Well, that being said, you feel me? Until next time, party people. My name is C.e.o Dream, and this is Meanwhile with Hip Hop Raised Me.
Word up. Let's eternal. You gotta be safe, man. Everybody have a blessed one.
All right?
Peace.
they screaming hip hop raised me. When we down south, they screaming hip hop raised me. Even in the Midwest, screaming hip hop raised me. On the East Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. In the West Coast, they screaming hip hop raised me. When we down south, they screaming hip hop raised me. Even in the Midwest, they screaming hip hop raised me. I'd like to welcome you to HIPHOPRaisedmetheblog.com. We celebrate as young as y'all in your music. We talking about hip hop, y'all. It's about the knowledge, the culture, and the lifestyle. Hip hop raised